I am live now. Namaste, namaste, namaste. It's a beautiful sunny day in LA, guys. Hello, Amungin. You're the first one joining. Welcome, Goli. Hello, Sadaf John. Welcome, everyone. Happy Thursday. I have an amazing guest today, Brian, and you are just gonna love him. He's amazing. Welcome, everyone. Namaste. Hope you're having an amazing day wherever you are. Let me know where are you guys joining us from. Where are you guys from? Hello, Cook That Pain. Atari, welcome. Welcome, Ferishte. Hello, everyone. Your lives are so ephemeral. Thank you, darling. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Tell me where you guys are joining me from. Namaste. Monique. Okay, beautiful. Welcome. Yes. Hello. Let me see if I can find Brandon. Hi, Ali. Hi, Pernice. Hi, Lida John. Good to see you, honey. Oh, hi, lovey Dorsa. I see you here. Beautiful. Miss you, Dorsa John. Haven't seen you for a while. By the way, guys, I see Farzana here. So great to see you all. I don't see Brandon yet, but anyhow, don't forget, guys, for those of you who are Persian, this upcoming Sunday, we're celebrating Halloween. We all gonna be wearing costumes, and a lucky person would win an amazing gift. I'm not gonna tell you guys what it is yet, but it's gonna be Sunday, 10 a.m. Los Angeles time, I believe 8:30 p.m. in Middle East. Namaste. Welcome. Okay, Farzaneh. Yes, lovey. Yes, it's beautiful to see you, Dorsa John. Missed you. Yes, so don't forget, guys, we're celebrating Halloween this coming Sunday, October 31st. And for those of you who asked me, when do we change our clock from Europe? It's going to be not this coming Sunday, the following Sunday, October 7th in midnight, we're going to change our clock. So then we're going to get a little bit closer time zone, which it always makes me think, when we always keep hearing there's no concept as space and time, what time is real? Hi, Brandon. I'll see you, love. Can you please send me a join request? Or send you one. Welcome, Tara John. Haven't seen you for a while either. Hello, Nafisa.
Hello.
Namaste, Brandon.
Namaste. Sudi, good to meet you.
It's a pleasure meeting you. Lovely to have you. Tell me, where are you? For my followers, could you please introduce yourself? Tell us, where are you from? Where do you live now? And what leads you to this journey where you're at right now? Thank you.
Yeah, sure. So I'm from Northern California, near San Francisco. I'm currently in Austin, Texas. Where to start? I'll give like a pivot that happened in my life that was very significant. I moved to the East Coast while I was in a network marketing business.
Mm-hmm.
And it was my passion at the time. And I got to a point where maybe 90% of what I was doing was fulfilling, and the 10% that wasn't outweighed the 90. It was like draining my soul. And I thought, okay, well, I need to, this isn't me anymore. And although I had a residual income and a community and a significant amount of time freedom, a lot of things that, people chase, and I still wasn't happy. I was partying all the time. I was drinking and smoking Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I was doing steroids at the time. I was like, building up my person as if that was my value to the world. And I hit this point where I was sitting on the couch and I just got to look at my life, and I just realized this isn't me. And maybe I should start doing the opposite of everything that I was doing at the time. So I started to do that. And very quickly, I was guided to, I just had the inspiration to start a newsletter. And I put a newsletter out just sharing the inspiration of, following your excitement, following your passion, regardless of what it looks like or where you think the support's going to come from, is really, it's our natural state. It's what the 2-year-old does when they wake up. They go, I'm going to go paint, I'm going to create this or that. So I just started doing that. And I would put this newsletter out about my thoughts and what I'm learning and my struggles. And one day I put a newsletter out that landed in the inbox of a woman moments before she was going to take her own life. And she was in Australia, parked in a parking lot, gazing out at the beach with a handful of sleeping pills. And she was contemplating taking the pills and going into the ocean and going to sleep. And she's sitting there, and she's a renowned medium in Australia. Mm-hmm. And her guide said, before you take those pills, turn the radio on. And she turned the radio on, and a song played, and the song said word for word, you should stay a little bit longer. So she stayed. And that was so hard to, fight against all of these unquestioned stressful thoughts and feelings. So in the next moment, she gets my email, and my email was titled, I'm excited to die, which was a catchy way of me saying, yes, when we die, we leave behind the guilt, the shame, the worry, the blame, but we don't have to die to experience what the other side can be like now. So here's some things you can do to feel better. And she reached out and she said, I want you to coach me. And I go, well, what's that? I don't know what coaching means. What does that mean? I'm definitely not one of those, if that's what you think. And so I reached out and I said, why don't we get on a call and I'll see if I can support you. And we did. And, in hindsight, I see I really did have in that exchange the Buddha mind. I had an I don't know mind. I was coming from a place of no expectations, or I wasn't identifying myself as the coach and her as the student. It was just two people and sharing what was arising. Mm-hmm. And from that state, she had a really radical kind of healing, and so did I. And we started working together, and over the next 6 months, her life completely changed, and mine did as well. And I remember one day her telling me, well, I lost like 35 pounds. I'm doing my dream business now versus the job that was destroying my soul. And I'm dating again after 10 years of dating. I'm getting tea with my father once a week, and we were estranged. And she's sharing all of this stuff to me, and I'm going, wow, I played a part in that. That was in that moment. I said, this is feels most me. Like this kind of relationship feels most me. Mm. And that led to really seeking out, okay, what is this thing that I'm doing with people and with myself? And really it led me to the work of inquiry, self-inquiry, non-duality, the work of Byron Katie, and really understanding and, exploring the question of who am I what is suffering, what is addiction, what is trauma. And now my work has taken the form of kind of an intersection between psychotherapy, non-duality, and self-inquiry that is really just a means by which we question the stressful thoughts and conditioning that is responsible for all suffering.
Beautiful. Yeah, everybody has their own journey, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I've been coaching Brian for over 30 years, and I learned so much while I was coaching. You know, we just
Yeah.
learned so
Oh,
much.
100%.
Yeah, so this is amazing. So let me know why you chose the topic, love or psychosis.
Yeah, it's really good. So I think at the core of all human behavior is the desire to feel love or happiness or peace. And I think we're really talking about the same energy taking different forms. So often someone experiences love when they're with another person and there's absolutely no felt sense of distance between them, meaning there's some sort of recognition of oneness or unity that doesn't need to be encouraged or evoked, but is in the absence of judgment, separation, avoidance, these sort of things. And everyone loves the feeling of love. And so much so that they will sacrifice, hurt or harm themselves, or take on addictions in an attempt to get that feeling. And often the addictions do provide a temporary form of relief from the suffering mind that give them a temporary experience of beingness. You know, the same reason why people can get addicted to extreme sports, jumping out of planes. You know, the same fulfilling or relief type of experience from jumping out of a plane occurs in a church, in those moments of worship where your breath is taken away and you as an individual is gone, and you in the moment merge in this kind of holy cross experience of or awe. And so that experience is first of all how I define love, which is the natural state, or a natural, almost like a rising or emerging on the other side of the separate self-identity, the part of ourselves that thinks that we're just this separate body. So in the, you know, Jesus said, you must first deny yourself to come to me. What does that mean? Not deny, not you know, reject ourselves, but see that we aren't just this body. Because if we are just the body, that means we're defined as finite. There's a part, there's somewhere where I end and you start, or I end and God starts. And in that way, it's like taking a rubber ball and pressing it down with two flat surfaces. There's a natural tension. It wants to expand. And the separate self is kind of like that. It's like, well, if love is not me, if it's not the nature of my being, of my awareness, which is really the only aspect of me that is unchangeable, you know, the I of myself. All of us call ourselves an I. I was 4, I was tall, I am this, I am that. If that isn't where love is, and what love is, and if that being, we can clearly see, is the same being that you have, that we all have, there's one shared being. If I'm not seeing and experiencing that clearly, then I will be convinced that love is contained in objects. So love comes from an experience. Love comes from other people. Why is it psychotic? Because it, you know, if love was really in an object, man, we'd all have that object already. It's like I'd be drinking the love potion nonstop. We all would. but it's not there. It's not in a relationship. It's not in an experience. So another word for psychosis could be insanity. So it is literally insane to believe that the love that I'm seeking lies outside of myself, because even the phrase outside of myself is an insane thought. It doesn't exist. Everything is happening within our awareness. So anyway, just to wrap this up, the short answer is that the psychotic, or I'll just use another word, the ego's attempt to get love is by building the character. And in A Course in Miracles, they call that specialness, a feeling of specialness. It goes, well, if I'm lacking love, if I'm lacking something, then it must be out there. Okay, well, now I need to join, I need more sex, I need more money, I need more experiences that make me feel special, that make me feel significant. And if I can just keep building my significance up, I'm going to feel loved and fulfilled and peaceful. And we know that that never works. And that's a lot of relationships. If I keep impressing you, pleasing you, if I can get this person to love me, then that's going to make me feel really special and important, and so on.
Yeah, absolutely. So the way I look at it, then is from the moment that I wake up, I separate myself from this I. And I often say, we usually think, oh, last night I was dreaming. I was going all over the place. I was visiting with my father, who passed away when I was 10 years old. He was right. Anything is going on. And then this I wakes up in the morning and I become conscious, and I think that, oh, last night was a dream and now this is real.
Right.
Because I worked with shamans many, many years ago, and this is what we always say, that could be what was going on in your psyche at night or when you're sleeping. Could be real or could be not real, but this reality is also being created by the ego mind. So even this is also a dreamland, because I often say, where are we in this picture, Brandon? Like, if I cannot separate myself from the thinking machine, I call the mind the thinking machine. If I cannot separate myself from this thinking machine, I cannot separate myself from the emotions, and I cannot separate myself from the body even. So I often say, imagine like there is an ego who's running this thinking machine, right? And then we can have another movie, which is our heart, and the soul, which is the whole knowing or our higher self, is running that. These are two different movies. These are going to be totally different depending on who is directing this machinery. Is it the mind or is it the heart? So we all doing this practice, that from the moment that we wake up, I am aware, oh, this I has awakened. And this I is putting up the coffee, and this I. And if this I has an addiction, I don't necessarily have to dive into it and believe that this is me just by separating myself, right? So when this I, the ego I, wants to light up a cigarette or have the 5 glasses of alcohol, I can separate. I say, wait a minute, who is desiring this? Who is the thinker behind the thoughts, and who is the one who's desiring all this? And I do a lot of sessions, because I'm a healer too, with a lot of people who have physical illnesses, from cancer to MS to fibromyalgia, anything. And until I cannot separate them from the this thinking machine and the ego mind, I believe that we cannot really, really make a change that is going to be last for a long, long time.
Yes.
And also, Brandon, I often say, I said, look, this is not a practice that you do for 2 weeks and feel good and then you're going to let it go.
Yeah, yeah.
This is, you know, as long as I'm going to live here to be on this planet Earth, I have to be the awareness, the higher consciousness who's observing this character.
Yes.
Otherwise, as soon as I get hijacked by the ego mind, it's done again. All that.
Yes.
So what do you think about this, Brandon?
Yeah, it's really, really great. Sudi, I agree 100%. What you're talking about is a shift in someone's core identity. And I love this quote from A Course in Miracles. I'm paraphrasing. It says, "You are subject to the laws of the world in which you identify with." So if I identify with the physical world, I'm subject to all of its laws, which means I've been born, and that means I can die. I'm over here, you're over there. Cause and effect. That is the world of suffering. It's like being in a play with a costume, and then anything that happens to the character, you're taking all that suffering on. Now, if you are in a character's outfit, well, it's not actually totally real, all of the suffering, all of the stuff going on with the character. Now, it doesn't mean physical reality isn't real. It means physical reality expresses itself as an illusion, and an illusion means it's not as it seems. So we're not here to deny reality and go, oh, it's just a dream, so who cares? It's about seeing that the light of awareness expresses itself in a way that seems a certain way, but if seen clearly, reveals itself to you as infinite awareness, namely the idea of, you know, time itself or space itself. We only experience here, which is infinity, right? Interpreted through a finite perspective. Here, always here, always here. You know, that's the space that we always experience. We don't experience it there. And then now is our experience of eternity, and we can never experience there or then. So if we really look at our experience, we go, you know, this whole time and space thing actually exists within me. I don't exist within it. So from this different identity, you know, a lot of people use the analogy of the wave in the ocean. I'm just this little wave. I can be bashed around and I'm temporary and I can dissolve. And, you know, the ocean behind the wave and empowering the wave is a much different experience of yourself.
Yeah.
So really understanding, oh, wait a second, I can't be essentially my own thoughts. I can't essentially be my emotions, because those come and go. If they were me, then when they left, I would go with it. But yet here I am. So I'm akin to the blue sky, and the clouds are the thoughts and the emotions and the senses that are always changing. When I grasp onto the cloud and I turn my back on myself, the sky, there's suffering. When I see myself and come from the blue sky, then I have no need to fight or resist the clouds, because I know they actually can't cover me up. They just seem to cover me up. So I see them, and in the sense of what you're saying, Sudi, is like we can separate ourselves by seeing it's not essentially us. But in doing so, when they arise, we are 100% present with them at the same time, because resisting or fighting them just doesn't make any sense from the blue sky. It's like a movie screen and going, man, I really need to change this movie because it might affect the screen. It might hurt and harm the screen. Well, no one would do that. You can have bombs going off and the screen is perfectly fine. Yeah. So a lot of people think or interpret this kind of understanding as, well, we just have to turn away. And that's one part of it, but it completes itself when we turn within to experience ourselves and then bring that to our relationships, our emotions, and every area of our life.
Brandon, I often say that imagine yourself as being the ego that's sitting high, high above with his open lens and watching this character down here. So the ego is just seeing the whole thing. He's seeing the whole picture, right? Because so many of us being so narcissist, the ego is just like me, 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 you know? Everything is happening. My partner is doing something and I'm making it about me, or the kid or the neighbor or the boss or the salesperson is doing something. And we always make it about us.
Yeah.
We never, but what I say, once you become that ego who's looking up there, that ego can also see that character, what that character has been through. Because I don't know here if the lens is just on me. I'm being reactive because, you know, the salesperson didn't open up wholeheartedly, but I'm not aware right here that what happened to that character this morning when that character woke up. What happened yesterday or in its childhood, how many traumas and wounds is this character carrying on?
Right.
So it's not about us. We can
Right.
separate ourselves from that. But then again, you brought up a really good point that although we're looking from up there, but once the feeling shows up, we don't try to crush the feeling and say, oh, it's not real, it's not happened.
Yeah.
On the contrary, we want to acknowledge the feeling. And this is what I said. I said, just separate the feeling from yourself, whether it's anger, rage, put it right in front of you and give it a character and be willing to experience and hear what this character is trying to tell you. If it's rage, I'm just separating the rage from myself and I say, I see you, I hear you. I'm hearing you. What are you trying to tell me? So I totally agree with you that although we're separating ourselves from it, but we're experiencing it. And oftentimes, when I'm doing my ongoing webinars, people often say that the one who's watching from the top somehow guiding the one who's the character that's down here.
Yeah, that's really good. And Mary said something. She said, you are the experiencer, not the experience itself. So one thing that I want to point out that might ground this in a little stronger, and I want to bring it back to relationships with all of this as well, because I think this is where where this is often forgotten. It's our training. It's like the best training ground to discern who we are. So you are the experience and not the experiencer, not the experience itself. So, you know, experience and awareness are two sides of the same coin. They're not really separate. I can't have an experience without awareness. The closest thing that I have to that is deep sleep. You know, I go to sleep and then I wake up. That actually happens in the same moment. So there's no time passing. Waking and sleeping are the same moment. Same with birth and death. They're actually the same moment. I can't experience the changing of time. I just experience here. And with no awareness, there's no experience. So when we separate, we go, there's an experiencer and then there's an experience. They're really one and the same. There is just a knowing of experience. It is the quality of knowing of my experience that is essentially me. But because experience contains the quality or the texture of awareness, it is what awareness is doing in a sense, or is expressing. So, you know, it's like Jesus said, I am in the Father and the Father is in me. So it's not even as to say, you know, everything is happening in awareness. It's everything's happening in awareness and as awareness. And that field or pervading energy is my essential being. So rather than, well, I need to separate and see I'm this one here and I'm just watching this one and I'm not this one. It's, well, this is essentially who I am. And as an extension of what I am, as a as a modulating, as a ever-changing expression of what I am, is this seemingly separate self in a body called Brandon, made up of my thoughts, emotions, sensations, and actions. That's what happens in this person. So bringing that back to relationships, how this manifests in relationships fundamentally is, in my experience, is the idea of need. I need something to change. I need something from you. I need this. I need that. Now, this doesn't invalidate our needs, but what it does is it says, I can't have an absolute need and know myself as the infinite at the same time. And when I say an absolute need, I mean, I believe that without this need, I will suffer, be deprived, or die. So I can't believe in those things and be or come from my infinite self at the same time. So every time that comes up in a relationship, I need you to do this, I need this from you, I need sex from you, I need appreciation from you, we're actually being called to turn towards ourselves to experience that, and then secondary, to then extend that to the other. Why? Because we have, or we are what we give. And that's the realigning process. That's like a more tantric approach to say, okay, I'm not just going to go back into the cave and get this for myself and see ya. I'm going to experience what I tried to get from you. I'm going to experience that as an unchangeable part of me. And then I'm going to give and be that towards you. Why? Because we love love. We love feeling what it feels like to love someone. It's like being around a dog going, God, I just love the energy of this dog. Well, what you're really saying is, I love who I am being around this dog. They're giving you permission to be loving. And so that's what relationships do. They show you where the separate self is. And if you believe the way out of that suffering is through getting more or through changing, then you're not in a relationship that serves the purpose of your own spiritual growth. You're in a transaction. Yeah. You're in a, let me try to get something from you and you can get this in return. And that's where most relationships are, and they will inevitably disappoint you.
Yeah, especially, I was actually doing a session with a client this morning, and she's so desperately looking for a partner. And she's like, the more I'm searching, the more it becomes hard. And it's just, when am I going to get this partner? I said, well, honey, the purpose is for you to start to fall in love with yourself. But I can honestly, I cannot be with myself. I hate it. I don't know what to do with myself. It's all that edginess, And so what's your approach, Brandon, for people to kind of sort of tame their ego mind, like that jitteriness, to bring them into more calmness?
Yeah, it's a really good question. So for her, the first thing is, okay, I don't like to be around myself. Looking at that statement, the self that she's referring to are her thoughts and emotions. So I don't like my thoughts and emotions. Well, so what's happening is I'm trying to run away from my thinking mind and the emotions that the thinking mind produces, aka my body mind, or what I think is myself, right? If you, and if you guys are watching this and have hands, then put your finger out. And if this is your thinking mind and your emotional body, if you bring it close to you and you keep going and you keep going until you touch your third eye, all of a sudden you can't see the tip of your finger. And if the tip of your finger represents thoughts and emotions, I bring it so close, I bring, oh, where'd it go? Where did it go? You can't see it anymore. So the running from the thoughts and emotions is what's creating the suffering, not the thoughts and emotions themselves. Right. That's a really big distinction, because people will pay money to sit in a movie theater and feel sad emotions because it feels good. Because
Yeah.
they go, well, I'm safe. Everyone else is doing it. It's socially acceptable. So I'll just sit here and I really want to feel heartbreak. Oh, yes, it feels so good. So a lot of times when there's the component of surrender, or just you end the resisting, you end the running from the thinking and the emotion, then you bring it so close to you that you will have a type of release that actually feels good, feels great. That's step one. Okay, I need to realize that the running itself is what's hurting me, not the thinking and the emotion. If my salvation was to get rid of thinking and emotion, I mean, none of us, that's just a world of suffering.
Yeah.
So first step is I'm going to sit and remind myself, okay, I will not cease to exist from my thinking and my emotions. They are the clouds. They have to come and go. They are not eternal. So let me remind myself, I'm indestructible. I've never been born, never died. So what am I actually afraid of if I sit here and let my thoughts arise and let my feelings arise? The second part, so that's the allowance piece. That's more of the feminine piece. Let me surrender and feel and join with this experience. And usually you'll feel some sort of relief just from that. No agenda, agendaless joining and presence. Let me see if I can be with this to the degree that I can genuinely say, this doesn't need to go anywhere. I'm actually okay. This can stay here my whole life. I'm actually okay. Get to that point. Then from there, you can start the process of inquiry. And for me, inquiry, I like to meet most people on the level of thinking and use that as a doorway back into themselves, back into their being. So I would ask the question, this is a great question to ask, what is the worst case scenario that my mind is painting the picture of right now? What is this fear? And let your mind play out. It typically will play out into a future.
Yeah.
Sometimes it could go into a past, but if we're talking about fear and anxiety, it's a future. So go to that future in your mind. Let the mind completely unravel and go, if you don't find a partner, then you're going to be alone. And then go deeper. Okay, if I don't find a partner and I'm alone, what am I afraid of happening? Well, you just die alone in your house. And put yourself there and see that moment and look around in that reality, because again, your body doesn't necessarily know the difference between what you imagine to be real and what you're experiencing. And start to ask the question, okay, I'm alone. I'm dying alone in my room. Okay, what am I making that mean about me? I'm not loved. I'm not supported. I'm not enough. Right? And that's where you can start revealing the nonsense of the ego mind. It's like, how many people on this planet have died alone without a partner? Probably millions. Well, is that proof that they are unloved and unsupported? No, it's just without a story. It's just someone passes on and there's no other bodies around. So you just start to expose the beliefs. And then I love this question from Byron Katie. Who would I be without these thoughts? If they're not true, if it's not a fact, who would I be? And I like to rephrase that question of, who am I already without these thoughts?
Yeah.
Who would I be if I couldn't imagine, if I couldn't believe these thoughts? And everyone says the same thing. Oh, I'd be free. I'd be at peace. That's because we're all describing our same one being. So right in that moment when they realize, oh, it's not the partner or the lack of a partner that's hurting me. It's not the outcome that's hurting me. It's me believing my thinking that's hurting me. And once we take it all back and realize that our thinking, our unquestioned thoughts that produce feelings is the source of the suffering, that's the good news, because it's the only thing that we can question and drop.
Beautifully said. Yes. Yes. So, why did you move from California?
Probably 6 or 7 years ago. 6 years, I think.
Yeah. But why made
Oh,
you?
why?
Mm-hmm.
I had a team on the East Coast that a big sales team, and I was training them and inspiring them, kind of like leadership training at the time.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So tell us, what are you doing these days? Like, if people want to know more about your teaching, are you
Right.
running webinars? Are you doing coaching sessions?
Yeah. Thank you. Good question. So after I met my first client, I started working with coaches and going to workshops and really attempting to understand what's going on. It led me to hosting retreats. And we've done now, in the last 4 years, we've done 17 retreats in different parts of the world. And over time, and there's a whole story behind this, but I'll just give you the short answer. Over time, we developed a curriculum called the 13. And the 13 is 13 different relationships to life. And each relationship is a gateway back to ourselves. And relationship one is our relationship to God or creation. And that's the, enlightenment, self-realization, all the words to simply realize that our essential self is boundless, infinite awareness, ever present.
Mm-hmm.
Well, those are the same words we use to describe God.
Yeah.
So just the clear experience of that is where the course starts. Then the next 12 weeks, you're taking that experience, that knowing, and realigning every part of your life, your physical environment, your health, abundance, your relationships, trauma, addiction. We're going through to bring that essence to your life. So that now has evolved into a course, into a book that's coming out in January, possibly February, and into retreats in different parts of the world. And again, the means by which you kind of go through the gateway back to yourself is inquiry, or what we've kind of termed integrated inquiry, which again integrates a little of the psychotherapeutic elements, a bit of the non-dual perspective, and just the inquiry into our own being, into our thinking. So that is really the center of the work that now expresses itself through the course, the book, and our retreats. But the majority of the content that I put out now is on Instagram, and I have a couple channels where I do different shows on different topics on like conscious media networks as well, and all of that information's in my bio.
Fantastic. And when is the next retreat? Do you have any idea when you guys are going to do the next one?
Yeah, we're thinking probably either January or February. We'll have it locked in probably in the next couple of weeks. So to kick off next year will be sometime in the beginning of the year.
And where do you think to have it?
We're leaning towards Costa Rica.
Are you?
Yes. Yeah. Where are you located again?
I'm in LA.
You're in LA. Okay. I lived in LA for a little while. Little time in Northridge, which is a little further out, and then time in Venice and Santa Monica and San Diego. And
yeah. Have you been? I've done most of my events in Middle East, like Dubai.
Okay.
Or I've done many in Turkey. Have you guys been to that part of the country?
No, the closest to there where we've done some events, we've done events in Ireland, and we've done events in Bali and London, but not in the Middle East.
Yeah, I felt that, especially I love Turkey. I felt that the energy is very different, anywhere you go, as you know, energetically. Why not Sedona, Brandon?
We've done retreats in Sedona. I lived in Sedona for 9 months. Our last retreat was in Shasta, Mount Shasta. Right before that was Sedona. So typically we're going on a lot of the ley lines and the chakra points. Bali was a big one. So we love Sedona. That would probably be our second choice if Costa Rica doesn't work out.
Yeah, because I heard from a friend of mine, he's there the last few months, and he said COVID hit them really bad, and they're not really equipped with hospitalization, and he got sick the last few months. He's been sick a few times eating food from the restaurant. So I hear a lot of things about Costa Rica at the moment, which I loved Costa Rica. I used to go there, but this is what I hear is happening right now. But anyhow, it was lovely having you, Brandon.
Yeah, thank you
And
so much. This is really fun.
yeah, and probably if I have a plan on doing a retreat or something, I would let you guys know. Maybe you can just join us. We do something together.
That would be really fun. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
stay connected for that for sure.
Very nice, Brandon. Have a beautiful day, and thank you so much. And everyone will follow you, and they will love you, and they're going to enjoy your lives as well to get more information. And the goal is that we all raise up consciously.
Yes, thank you so much, Sudi. Appreciate it. And thank you all for watching.
Thank you. Bye bye. Have a great day, Brandon.
Bye.
Okay, everyone. Wasn't Brandon lovely? I'm going to end this live too, guys. As you know, the lives are going to be uploaded on YouTube immediately after we finish the Instagram live. My English, I'm going to just in case. Mesha John, can you put YouTube, Sudi, what did I put? Doody? Yeah. Sudi, Burnett, English. So if you guys haven't signed up, thank you, Mesha John. I'm going to pin this. If you guys haven't signed up on my English Instagram, please do so, Sudi Burnett English. And we also have a gift for you guys. We got 4 CDs that we're giving out for anyone who's subscribing to my YouTube channel. We got self-love, we got healing ourselves and others. We got prosperity CDs. We have meeting with your spirit guides. We have weight loss, which is very much related to self-love. Thank you so much all for being here. Love and peace. Don't forget Sunday, we're celebrating Halloween in my other Farsi channel, Sudi, that's Sudabe Burnett, 10 a.m. Sunday, California, Los Angeles time, 8:30 p.m. Middle East. Have a beautiful, lovely day, and see you guys next Thursday. Bye-bye, everyone.